GOP congressman warns of Chinese police stations in U.S., how have we allowed this to happen? House China Select Committee Chairman Mike Gallagher on Saturday spoke in front of a former Chinese Community Party police station, asking, "How have we allowed this to happen on American soil?" House China Select Committee Chairman Mike Gallagher hosted a press event Saturday at a former illegal Chinese Communist Party police station in downtown Manhattan. "This innocent-looking building that you see behind me has an unauthorized secret police station linked to the Chinese Communist Party," said Gallagher. The non-profit Safeguard Defenders discovered over 100 of these illegal police stations around the world, including at least 2 more on United States soil. Gallagher was joined by Rep. Richie Torres, DN.Y, and Rep. Neil Dunn, RFLA, in an effort to shine a light on the threat the CCP poses to the United States and the need for the Biden administration to act aggressively to defend U.S. sovereignty. "Shut them down," more Chinese secret police stations reportedly found, prompting call for consulate closures. Rep. Mike Gallagher leads a press event against CCP police stations after an FBI raid in Manhattan. Rep. Mike Gallagher leads a press event against CCP police stations after an FBI raid in Manhattan. NTD News. Last year, the Pan-Asian human rights organization Safeguard Defenders published an investigation called Patrol and Persuade that said another 48 Chinese police service stations were operating abroad in addition to the 54 the group had identified in September. "It's rare to find someone who hasn't experienced at least some low-level form of digital harassment from CCP agents," Gallagher said at the Saturday press conference. "How have we allowed this to happen on American soil? The answer, in my opinion, is that we have been blind while the CCP has been very cunning." He continued, "They buy our politicians, multinational organizations, companies, and in some cases, law enforcement. They use muscle and threats instead of persuasion. And like the mafia, they aren't afraid to make people disappear." Republicans demand answers from Biden officials on report China opened police arm in NYC. Chinese civil rights activist Zhou Fengsuo speaks at the press event held outside a recently raided Manhattan police station of the CCP. Chinese civil rights activist Zhou Fengsuo speaks at the press event held outside a recently raided Manhattan police station of the CCP. NTD News. Reported locations of these illegal police stations span 53 countries, including 4 U.S.-based stations, 2 in New York City, 1 in Los Angeles and 1 set up by the Nantung Public Security Bureau in an undisclosed location. Gallagher was joined by Chinese activist Zhou Fengsuo, who was a student leader hunted by the CCP after participating in the protests that sparked the Tiananmen Square massacre. "This is the first time that the Chinese basic community feel that their grievance is heard by American public," Zhou said after taking the podium. China has opened overseas police stations in US and Canada to monitor Chinese citizens, report. Democratic Rep. Richie Torres spoke at the press conference on the bipartisan nature of the CCP issue. Democratic Rep. Richie Torres spoke at the press conference on the bipartisan nature of the CCP issue. NTD News. Zhou was forced into exile after being named one of the CCP's most wanted criminals for his participation in the student protests in 1989. He was arrested multiple times, beaten, and tortured by government officials. "We want justice," Zhou said. "We cannot allow this to happen in America. We cannot allow this to happen. It is the land of the free and the brave. We are here because we believe in freedom. And we will fight for freedom." Torres also spoke on the issue, saying, "Even though Chair Gallagher and I come from opposing political parties, the unity we are projecting sends a powerful message that the defense of human rights from the abuses of the CCP is not a democratic value or a Republican value. It's an American value. We are here because we're Americans who believe in the rule of law and human rights and freedom for every single person, including the Chinese dissidents here in the United States," Torres added. Gallagher announced that the House China Select Committee will be holding a hearing, titled "The Chinese Communist Party Threat to America," next week to take proactive measures against CCP actions in the U.S. Republican Rep. Richard Dunn stood beside Gallagher and Torres at the press conference on CCP interference in the U.S. Republican Rep. Richard Dunn stood beside Gallagher and Torres at the press conference on CCP interference in the U.S., NTD News. The committee hopes it will be a bipartisan collaboration. Nobody agrees on 100% of everything. I don't even agree with my own family on 100% of everything, Gallagher said. But we want to identify what the bipartisan center of gravity is. He concluded, we believe, and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy believes, that where possible, if Congress can speak with one voice when it comes to standing up against and pushing back against Chinese Communist Party aggression, America is stronger, the world is stronger, the free world is stronger.